Hey everyone, so today we'll be looking at this problem called distinct value subsequences. The problem statement is that we have an array that has n integers and we need to count the number of subsequences where each element is distinct. So your task is to calculate all subsequences such that each element that you have has to be distinct. So what is a subsequence? Basically it is like from any sequence. Let's say you have a sequence like 2 3 5 6. So if I just omit one or more than that elements, so we get a subsequence. So like if I just omit 5, so 2 3 6 is a subsequence, right? If I just omit 6, so 2 3 5 is a subsequence. If I omit 5 and 6 both, so I have 2 3 as a subsequence, and I can also omit all of them, so then it will be an empty subsequence. So definitely we are not considering empty subsequences, like that won't come under the count. So our task is to count the number of such subsequences जहाँ पे हर एक एलिमेंट जो है वो डिस्टिंक्ट हो. ठीक है. So you have got certain constraints for the problem. Your n, that is the length of your array, is going to be between 1 to 2 into 10 power 5. So what does that mean? That means O of n square doesn't work. It doesn't work. O of n log n would work. O of n would definitely work. So we need to see a solution in these, right? And your range of xi is from 1 to 10 power 9. Okay, so let's look at a test case. So when you have 4 elements, let's say 1 2 1 3, they are asking that how many subsequences you can figure out with distinct number of elements, right? So just think it this way, that can I take one? So like for each element, how many options do I have? I can either take it, I can either take, or I can not take, right? So for each element I have two options, right? Now the point is that if I had all distinct, like 1 2 3, if I had already distinct elements, then what I would just do is every of them would have two options. So 2 here, 2 here, so my answer would be 2 power n minus 1, because we are not considering the empty subsequence, right? But here that's not the case. Here, out of all these ones, I can only take one of those ones, right? Like when I'm picking one single subsequence, it can only have one of these ones, because the condition is that the elements need to be distinct. We can't have all the ones together. So for this from this array, when I'm selecting a 1, I have two options, right? Do I have two options or more than that? Just think it carefully, that in a subsequence you can either have no ones, you can have 1 1, or you can have two ones. So that means you have three options, right? That is 0 1 and 2. So that means whatever is the count of the element, the number of options of picking would always be count plus 1, right? So does this make the intuition clear that, let's say if an array has k distinct elements, let's say, and let's say their counts, like for the element k1 k2 till kn, the counts are respectively c1 c2 to cn. So okay, sorry, not k1 k2 kn, I'm sorry. So you have k distinct elements, right? So and if the counts of all those k distinct elements are given by this, like c1 c2 to ck, then can you figure out what is going to be the total number of subsequences? It is going to be, like for the first element, for let's say a1 till ak, let's say. So for the first a1, I'll have c1 plus 1 options. For a2, I'll have c2 plus 1 options. And for the last element, likewise, I'll have ck plus 1 options. And I'll be subtracting the empty subsequence, because there comes a case where I just take none, right? Like if I don't take this, not this, not this. So that is one of the cases where I get an empty subsequence. that has to be neglected, so that's why -1. So then the idea is pretty simple, that you can just make a frequency map. So you just have a map, and like this you can initialize, right? And then you can just, while you are taking in the input, you can just put all of those elements in the map, so you would have the count. So let's just take an example. For 1 2 1 3, your m of 1 is going to be 2, your m of 2 is going to be 1, and your m of 3 is going to be 1. And what do you do then? You just product all of these plus 1, right? So this is going to be 2 plus 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 1, which is 2 2 3, so 12 minus 1, right? Because at the end you need to do -1. So okay, there's one more thing in this question, that the number of subsequences could also exceed 10 power, like it could exceed a very, like it could not be in LL as well, right? Because LL, the limit is 10 power 18, but you can very well understand that it can exceed for a really large array, and if the counts are such, then this can exceed. So that's why they have told us to print it modulo 10 power 9 plus 7. So you will just declare some variable called mod, and according to the properties of modulus, when you are multiplying each of them, you will just take the mod. So you will just write it like this, that your f is being multiplied by the count, and then you will take mod, right? So you will just write f equal to f modulo mod, right? Okay, so I hope this explanation is clear. Thank you.